Mama kungi betengo we kumoyi ingumada takana. Okyoso kinu kibanga se Manuele ngando mushisamye. Manuele.
Hey. All right. Welcome to the 20th episode of the Two Left Feet podcast. Today I had a wonderful guest on, Miss Ama Ryllis from Sydney, Australia. She teaches dancehall at Commune Sydney Studios in Sydney, Australia. This was a really cool episode because I met her online and she instantly showed me love for the podcast and what I'm doing, so I had to have her on as a guest. So fortunate to talk to her and to hear her story growing up in Paris, and then all of a sudden one day packing her bags and moving to Australia. Within a month's time, which is just astounding. She's a really wonderful lady. I enjoy talking to her. She dances Simba, Kizomba, like I said, Afro House. She does the dancehall classes. A very cool person. Can't say enough positive things about her. In this episode, we talked about what it's like growing up in Paris, what it's like just moving to Australia, the crazy stuff in Australia, like the insects and the dangerous things, the spiders, all that crazy stuff. That's why I could never live there. But yeah, great episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. If you find value in this, I want to ask that you leave a like and a subscribe and share this with your friends and family. And if you don't find there's no value for you in this, then don't worry about it. Yeah, episode 20 of the Two Left Feet podcast. I really hope you enjoy it. So I am. Oh, hold on, let me start over. I am now on the line with a wonderful Miss Ama Ryllis, who you currently live in Sydney, Australia. That's correct.
Yes.
Hey, and you teach at you teach dancehall at Commune Sydney. Is that correct?
Yes.
Hey, how are you doing today?
Good, thanks to you.
That's wonderful. I'm doing swell. I'm doing swell. I'm curious. So, where were you born at exactly?
Sorry?
Where were you born?
I was born in France, in Paris.
Okay.
I
I understand. So I'm honest with you. I have never been to Paris. What is Paris like?
So Paris is very big. So you've got the main city, Paris itself, and I'm from a small town around Paris, and it's very diverse. Like you've got whole lot of different people everywhere, and it's always alive. So it's a bit crazy. I was born in a sort of ghetto called Aulnay-sous-Bois, but then my parents moved to a smaller town, and there it was mainly white people, and that's where I started dancing hip hop actually, in that small city. But yeah, like it's very diverse. Like you've got the Paris itself that it's very busy all the time, and then you've got a lot of other cities around. Some are smaller than others, but pretty much busy all the time.
I'm curious. What's your ethnicity? Like, where are your parents from?
My parents are from Benin.
Okay, where's that? I don't know. Benin.
It's West Africa, a small country.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How did they end up in Paris? I'm curious.
So my grandfather used to work in France. So he left my grandma and my uncles and my dad in Benin. Then some of my uncles came to France and started working in Paris. And they brought the other brothers, and that's how my dad came, and then he brought my mom.
Okay. All right. I understand. That's cool. What was it like growing up in Paris? You say you grew up in the ghetto at first, and then you moved to the suburbs, like the white neighborhood.
Yeah. So we had this ghetto city that was pretty cool actually, because when I was here I couldn't see that it was a ghetto really.
That's all you knew.
So yeah, I did. That's what I knew, and I didn't know really it was a childcare where I would go with my brother and my sister every Wednesday, and they had so many activities. So we were always dancing, cooking, doing something like theater and things like that. So that was really cool. And then we moved to this white neighborhood, we can say, and that was a bit different because I was older as well. So at first, I didn't make so many friends. That was very
Okay.
difficult. And then I started to meet people. But then I was a bit older, so I was going to high school. So it went very quick. After
Okay.
I moved from there, and I went to other cities. So
I'm curious. You said you started dancing hip hop in Paris. Is
yeah,
the hip hop scene big in Paris?
yeah, it's big. There's a lot of
Really?
yeah. People love dancing hip hop. My favorite event is Juste Debout. I don't know if you heard about it.
I have not.
It's every year in Paris. It's an international competition. So you've got people from Korea, Japan, from the US, from Germany, from everywhere. And you've got battles the whole day. So you've got pre-selections in different cities during the year, and then
Oh,
held in March in a very big venue, and it lasts for the whole day from 1 p.m. till midnight, 1 a.m. You've got
has
dancing
it
like
has
all
it
the time.
already happened this year?
Yeah, it already happened this year.
Did you go this year?
No, I couldn't go because I'm in
Okay.
teenage. So,
Okay. What brought you to Sydney?
um, so basically, I've always wanted to live in Australia. Since I was little, I was telling my
Uh,
mom, "Oh, I've got no idea why. Don't ask me. I don't know."
okay. I was.
My mom, "I'll live in Australia. I'm gonna live there," and she was like, "Yeah, yeah, fine, my child, fine." And finally, I made it. But basically, I finished my studies, and then I was on short-term contract all the time. And one of my friends passed away, so that was pretty sad. But
Yeah,
like he
definitely.
was young and he was dancing and was like he didn't get to do to do more of his life. Like he was dancing,
Yeah.
but he didn't get to go to grow more. So I was like, I gotta do what I want to do. So I moved to Sydney, and
Wow,
I found it,
that's so great.
and I stayed there.
No, I can understand that. What'd you go to school for?
I was studying biochemistry, cosmetics, um, how to make creams, the
Okay.
process, um, quality control, things like that.
Okay. Did you graduate or you said you just moved straight? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, that's awesome. I I went to school for business, so I don't even know anything about biochemistry.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. People can say. In cosmetics, it's very easy. Like it's more about knowing your ingredients. It's like cooking. You know what that does, what that was. If you put it together, what can it give you? And then sometimes you've got some funny things happening.
Okay.
So you have to do experiments anyway. So that's
Okay.
cool.
I'm
Yeah.
curious. In Paris, is there a big West African population?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because West Africa is mainly, not all countries, but a lot of them have been colonized by France.
Right.
So,
Okay. Okay.
so when they have to go to a country, they will go to France.
Okay. I'm curious. Have you ever been to West Africa? Have you visited Africa at all?
Yeah, I've been in Benin. Last time was 10 years ago. So I'm planning to go.
Okay. Hey, that's awesome. I'm
Yeah,
curious. I know it was a while ago, but what do you remember? What was it like?
that was like when you get there, like when you get out of the plane, it's like you've got this smell that you know you landed,
Uh-huh.
and, and like people are very generous. They're sharing. Like when there is a party, it's just open. Everyone would get in. Like people you don't know, people you know, party together. There's always something happening in the streets. Food
Okay.
everywhere. Yeah, I really love it.
That's awesome. Have you come to America at all? Have you visited?
Yeah, I've been once last year, but only for a few days. And I'm coming back this year.
Hey, would you go last year?
Last year, I went to LA, then San
Hey.
Francisco, and Fort Lauderdale.
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
those are the big cities. You saw the big cities.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So from I was going to the French Caribbean to see some of my family, And from Sydney, going through the US or going through Canada. So I just had to cross the whole country to
Okay.
get to the.
Okay. I got you. I'm curious. What got you into Afro and dancehall?
Um, I guess it's just the culture. Like I've
Mm.
been listening to that kind of music forever,
Uh
so
huh.
it's talking to me. But I didn't start with that. When I was little, I was dancing more jazz and contemporary. And growing up, I went into hip hop.
Okay.
And then I don't know, I stopped dancing hip hop and started to dance more Afro because it was more natural for me.
Okay.
Yeah. And dancehall, I was listening to dancehall all the time. So yeah, that's how I started.
I guess dancehall's some good music though, so I definitely
Yeah.
understand that. So wait. So you started growing up doing jazz and modern. You look like you dance jazz, so I understand that. But
Yeah.
but so like yeah, did your family get you into dancing jazz and modern? Like is that something that you just did on your own?
I've always been dancing, like really,
Okay.
but
Okay.
um, my parents wanted me to play tennis, so I started playing tennis. But then
Ah.
they my sister to dance, and I was like, why can she dance and I can't dance? I want to dance too. So instead of study dance.
Okay. I definitely understand that. So I'm curious. So you go to school, you get your degree, you move to Sydney, Australia,
Yeah.
and so what'd you start doing in Australia once you got there?
So before I moved to Australia, that was a very fast move. Like I think I decided to go to Australia in August, and 1st of November I was in Australia. But
Damn.
in between, I was like, oh, if I go there, I need to do something. So I started to look for a job. And I found a job. Right? So when I arrived here, I started my job directly, like straight away.
Uh-huh.
And then I needed my dancing. I couldn't find anything. I was when I was in France, I used to dance a bit of Kizomba, but not so much. But I really loved Caribbean Zouk. So I was looking for Caribbean Zouk and I couldn't find it, but I found classes for Kizomba. I
Uh-huh.
went and I met a lot of people and they were like, oh, Ama, you should teach Afro because you can dance, blah, blah. And I was like, I've never taught any class before. Like, I don't think
Ah.
that. But that's actually how I started teaching. And then I started going out as well. So in Sydney, we do have some Caribbean, Afro and Caribbean parties. So
Okay.
I met people there, and that's how I started having gigs and dancing more. Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. You said you were a little bit hesitant to start teaching, right?
Yeah.
What made you take that leap, you know what I'm saying, and say, I'll do it, you know?
Actually, it's funny because my friends were really pushing me
Uh-huh.
to teach. So I did it a few times, did workshops, and but even though I've always wanted to be teaching, I was not feeling like I was at the right place to do it. Like
Oh.
I was, I was that I should do it now, but I still tried a few workshops. It did work. I had a lot of people coming to the class,
Awesome.
but I still wasn't feeling comfortable. And I felt like I was acting somehow, like that was not me really.
Uh-huh.
And then last year, really, I decided on my own, like, okay, I want to teach,
Yeah.
really. So I contacted a dance studio, and some of my friends pushed for it as well. So I got my chance, and I started to teach for real.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. Looking back on all this, what do you think? What's the hardest part about learning to teach a dance?
I think it's hard when you haven't taken so many classes before. Like,
Oh,
I take classes of hip hop, jazz, modern, and things like that, but I never took Afro or dancehall classes before.
right.
To break down the moves and also to communicate um, the culture, like whatever you know about the culture, the way you approach the dance as well,
Uh-huh.
and that it's right because in the beginning I was like, okay, whatever I'm teaching, is that even correct? Because
Mm.
no idea, like that's how I dance and that's how I feel when I dance. So that's what I'm trying to teach. The culture I know by making researches and things like that. But like, is that correct? What I'm so for that, to help me with that, I started to take other classes, like other people's classes, and see how they explain some move, because sometimes I feel like it's good for if you've got a way of explaining things,
Yeah.
but someone have a different way and it works as well.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got students who come to your class and are like, oh, how do you do that move? You explain to them and they don't understand.
Right.
Then you don't have a second way or third way even to explain to them, they may get lost. So sometimes when I really can't explain, I will ask someone, yeah, how do you teach that? Because I'm struggling with that person who can't understand that one. So I would discuss with other dancers or take their class and see how they teach.
Yeah.
And I always recommend to people to go to different people's class, because it's just it may be different, but somehow you'll get the same information. And sometimes if it's pretty much the same, you'll get different information, different way of seeing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I always say it's very important to go to a lot of people's classes, or to take a lot of classes, and even if it's a complete different style, it helps. It always helps.
Definitely. Yeah. I'm curious. In Australia, do you speak a lot of French there, or are you practicing your English, working on your English there?
So I speak English with most of the people, but there are a lot of French people as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. In Kizomba, for example, there are so many French people.
Okay.
And my boss is French as well. In my company, we used to be like 10 French people in a company of 30 or 50 people. So, like, yeah, it's massive. There's a lot of French.
Okay. All right. I'm curious. How'd you learn English?
At school.
Okay. They taught it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in France, once you reach a certain age, you have to learn a different language. I didn't pick English first. I picked German.
Okay.
But then the second language, we have to learn two languages. The first one you can pick English or German. I picked German, so the second one had to be English. And then at uni, I had 2 years of speaking only English.
Okay. That's a great chance to work on it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you. I am so jealous that you are multilingual, that you can speak English and Spanish bilingual.
Yeah.
I'm working on my Spanish, but it is nowhere as good as your English is, you know?
Oh, thank you.
That's really good.
English every day as well, so that
Okay.
helps.
Okay.
Then I wanted to learn Portuguese as well, because I really
Okay,
want
yeah.
to. So I learned Portuguese, but I'm not practicing as much as English, so it's a bit.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, I was trying to learn Mandarin and I was practicing
Yeah,
it, but if you don't use it,
you
it's
lose it.
hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so true. It's so true. I didn't really have anyone to talk with, so I would just like practice by myself, and it was
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, when I was in France and I was practicing Portuguese, I would annoy my parents and my sister, like speaking to them in Portuguese. They were like, "We can't answer," and I was like, "That's okay. I still reply to in Portuguese."
Okay, that's awesome. That's dedication.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Could you tell me about, like, I guess the history of like Afro house, in like Caribbean Zouk? You know anything about that?
Caribbean Zouk.
Yeah.
Um, Caribbean Zouk is very how it has so it started in Guadeloupe and Martinique.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know the roots of it.
Uh-huh.
I know more about the evolution, how it evolved. So you've got different styles. You've got the retro zouk, which
Retro
has
Zouk
a
is oh.
retro zouk has a lot of. It's basically not the first zouk, but it's the old school zouk. So
Yeah, exactly.
you've got a lot of instruments. You can hear all the instruments in there. It's very dramatic in the lyrics, I would
Okay.
say, like more in terms of its love and how this guy is cheating on me and blah blah and blah blah. But it's like it's got I think it's got a bit of like Begin. I don't know if you know about Begin.
I
It's got a
don't.
bit begin sound in it. That's the old school zouk, and then it evolved. Like every year, you've got new artists coming in,
Right.
and it um, there is a bit less musical. You still have the same kind of lyrics like "Hey, cheating on me," "I'm in love," "You don't love me," blah blah, stuff like that. And but in terms of evolution, at some point, like I find that now it looks a bit more R&B-ish. Like
Okay, right, yeah.
it used to have this very distinct sound, like very a lot of melody. You still have the bass, but you've got you can hear a lot of the melody. And now it's like with the new artists, sometimes it's a bit more R&B-ish, I find.
Yeah.
Um,
Just that influence. I understand. So,
yeah. And they usually, so back in the days, they were always singing in Creole, Caribbean language. And nowadays, they start singing in English, a little bit more in French. You don't hear so much Creole
oh.
anymore.
I live in New Orleans, Louisiana, and there's a big Creole population down here. Yes, but I was gonna say, for retro zouk, to my knowledge, that's how Kizomba kind of got started. They would dance passada to
Yeah,
retro zouk. Is that correct?
yeah, they would like because of Kassav, which is one of the main
The artist, right? He's a very popular
yeah,
artist.
the big group of Zouk.
Right.
Uh,
Okay, yeah.
so probably yeah, the main one. They've been traveling around the world and in Africa, and that's how Kizomba started. They started mixing the
Yeah.
Zouk connotation to the African sound, and that's how you got Kizomba.
Okay.
Yeah,
I want to tell you, I asked you earlier. I know you enjoyed the uh, Lucia Nogeda episode.
yeah,
I did an episode with this lady named Rakita Alta. You say you might have heard of her. When I
yeah,
put that one up, I want you to check that one out.
yeah,
She's very good. That episode. It was very exciting because she just knows so much. So I think you really enjoyed that one.
yeah, cool.
Yeah, but when we start talking about the history of Kizomba Simba and all that, I'm curious, how did you get into Kizomba Simba? Because I saw you performing. You're excellent.
Thank you. That was the first time actually I was performing in Semba.
That was
Uh,
at the Awake Festival. Is that the first time? Or?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
first
Great
time.
job. Good job.
Thank you. So I got into Kizomba a long time ago because in high school I met a girl who is from Angola, and I was always with her, going to her family, and she would tell me about her family parties, how they were dancing kizomba there and tarashinya
Okay.
sometimes, and so that's how I started dancing a little bit. And then I was started to go to clubs, and in clubs they just play whatever they just play music, you dance, and there were a lot of people from Cape Verde and from Angola, so I would dance with them. Then back in the day, I didn't really like taking Kizomba classes.
Why not?
I don't know why. Like that was the very beginning, and I don't know. Like I didn't get into it. But when I arrived in Australia, I couldn't dance my Caribbean zouk, and all I had was Kizomba. So
Ah,
I started taking Kizomba classes. So that was 4 years and a half ago, I think. And yeah, and that's how I started really dancing Kizomba in
I'm curious.
Sydney.
Who's what instructors do you have down there? I'm very curious.
So when I started, the instructor that I was dancing with was Olivia,
Oh,
Olivia Gamel, and Yoni. So they were the two instructors who started with me,
okay.
Kizomba. And but then in Sydney, it's very difficult because Australia is a very hard country to stay in, to live
Yeah.
in. So you gotta get a visa, and it's very difficult to get a visa to get that visa to stay here. So basically, uni and also you gotta you gotta love the country because it's very far away from you. You're far away from your family, from everything that you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
environment. So, for example, Yoni and Olivia are French. So they were teaching in Sydney. So that's how I got into Kizomba. But then Yoni left to go back to France.
Ah.
There's teachers coming, but then a lot of them have to go back because of the visa, or they don't like living in Australia, or things like that. So for a few years, the scene in terms of teachers has evolved a lot. Like it's been changing. We've got some people who have been here for a very long time, like Armand Salvi. He's been here for a very long time. Now we've got Chris and Amanda who are teaching urban kids. You've got Jasmine as well. We've got like
Yeah.
teachers for Kizomba and urban kids in Sydney now.
Okay.
And now it's a little bit more stable. It used to be very unstable. Like you had teachers coming, then leaving, and
Ah.
so
I'm
that's
curious. I'm curious. When you first moved to Australia, did you know anyone?
no, I didn't know no one.
So you moved to a whole different country by yourself.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness, that is crazy.
just like that. I don't know. I'm crazy.
I mean that's admirable. I'm inspired. I'm curious. What was it like when you first got there? Did you already have an apartment and everything set up?
No.
Whoa.
So I basically just booked my tickets, did all the insurance, health insurance, and things like that I had to do because I was like, I'm traveling. I don't want if anything happens to me, I have to be set. But then when
Yeah.
I arrived, staying in a hostel for two
Yeah,
weeks,
yeah.
2 weeks and a half, just the time to look for an apartment. And it's very easy in Australia, in Sydney, to find an apartment. So I found one. Then I had my job, so I started the job, and that's it. And then I had an activity, so I started boxing. I didn't get too much into that, and then I was like, oh, I need my dancing. I didn't have Zouk. I found Kizomba, and that's where I met a lot of people. And from there, really from when I started Kizomba, I started to meet a whole lot of people. And I started to go out by myself. Then with some people that's where you will meet people at parties, really. Like you can go out by yourself and meet a whole bunch of people. I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
Cut the thing. Oh, I cut it off. I'm sorry. Hold on one second. Yeah, I actually cut the mic off. My fault. Um, I want to ask you. Now, for me personally, I don't mind going out by myself, but I know a lot of females who feel, they don't feel safe going out by themselves. I'm curious, how do you overcome that? Do you have that fear at all?
Yeah, in the beginning, because I'm from Paris and nobody goes out by himself in
Okay.
Paris. That
Is
not,
Paris
doesn't
is
happen.
Paris dangerous? I'm curious. I don't know anything about it.
A little bit. Just it's
Ah.
not dangerous, but it's just not. You don't feel safe going out by yourself. But
Hmm.
in Australia, it's a whole different story. Seriously, like I can go out, I can go to a party by myself, and I will still meet a lot of people because people are just very, very, very nice.
That's
They
awesome.
just they just talk to you. You're in the bus, someone is going to talk to you.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. For people, there are people out there who they're scared and they're hesitant to do what you did. Follow their dream and just move to a different country or pursue a passion. What advice could you give them?
Um, I think you should just try.
Oh,
Just try.
just do it. Okay.
Just try. Because if you don't try, then you don't know if it's working or not working.
Yeah.
So it's just like for example, just going out by yourself.
Hmm.
If you don't go out, if you don't try, at least going out of your house and going to that party by yourself, you don't know what it's like. You really don't
Yeah.
know. Like, no idea. That could be the best party of your life. Okay, that can also be awful, but you can meet a lot of people. So, like if you don't try, you're missing something. You're missing an opportunity to live something very great.
Yeah. So so
And
so what is
like I used to be like that a lot, like not trying nothing, like just stick to whatever I know and never try anything different.
mm. It sounds like you don't let you don't let yourself live in fear. You don't let fear dictate your life, right?
Yeah,
And that's very
yeah,
important.
yeah. Basically, you just, yeah, I think you should just try, like, whatever you think you want to do. What the worst case scenario is that you don't.
You're breaking up. I missed it, but I think you said something wonderful. I know you said something wonderful. You just broke up on me.
I said, I think I said, if you don't try, you're just missing something that could be great. And
Right, right, right.
worst case scenario is that you may just not like it.
Uh-huh. I would say,
So
if you were too scared to go out, by yourself in Australia, you probably wouldn't know the people you know now, have the experiences you have now.
yeah, I
Mhm.
think, yeah, if I didn't like just try go by myself, I wouldn't have met so many people. Because one party I didn't, I remember there was that DJ who contacted me several times. His name is DJ Fazmo. He's an amazing DJ,
Hey.
um, Caribbean DJ. He was like, "Oh, you should come to my party. You like it, blah blah." And I was like, "Who's that guy? Like, why is he contacting me? I don't want to go to his party, blah blah."
Uh-huh.
And one day, I don't know why, I was like, "Okay, I'm going."
Uh-huh.
I went and I met so many great people. Like
That's awesome.
I still see them all the time. The parties every month. Like, I mean, it's like I really feel like I missed out when I was not going and be like, oh, I don't
Okay.
know these people, blah blah. They are, this party is amazing for real.
That's awesome.
So like, yeah, I had to go. Like, I had to try at some point.
No, I definitely understand that. I want to say, I'm actually inspired because I know in Australia there's like a lot of bugs and insects and stuff that'll kill you. So I want to say, I want to give you a round of applause because I don't know how you deal with that.
There's not that many. I mean, no, I can't say that. That's not true. There's a lot
There,
of
there
crazy.
is, yes.
You don't see them when you live in the city. Like, in it's a city. Like, it's very like it's a big city. So
Okay.
when you're in the urban area, you don't see any snake. You don't see any. Okay, you still see spiders, some
Uh,
trees, but
but
I
okay, that's a big but right there. Oh my goodness.
no, it's okay. It's
Isn't
fine.
it? What's the weather like? 'Cause it's hot down there, ain't it?
Yeah. I live in Sydney, so it's not as hot as the north of Australia.
Ah,
But so the summer, so from pretty much November till March, it's very hot, like crazy hot. And then after it starts cooling down a little bit for the rest of the year.
I don't know how you do it, but I applaud you. I I want to talk to you about tell me about Yannick.
Yannick,
Yeah, tell me
yeah.
about him. How'd you meet him?
So Yannick arrived, I think, 3 years ago in Sydney with his
Uh-huh.
girlfriend that I knew from before because she's Australian and she used to live in Sydney. So he arrived and he was dancing. In the beginning, he was not teaching. He just arrived dancing his normal thing. And then he started teaching with his girlfriend. Then he taught with another girl. And I think it didn't work out. So, and everyone apparently was telling him, you should just teach with Ama. So
Okay.
then we started to dance together and we really go along. Like, it's very, he's so he's speaking French. He's not French, but he speaks French.
Oh.
Um, so it's very funny. So we do a lot of jokes and like the energy is great. It's very positive.
Yeah.
So dancing, yeah, dancing with Yannick is amazing because he's got good ideas and he's motivated and he's always willing to dance. And for me, it's just a big plus because I always want to dance. So he's always
Hey.
like, let's dance.
Okay.
so so I went with him to Perth for a week. We had this performance, and that was very funny because we only found out we were going to perform 1 month before. So
Okay.
so we were like, okay, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do?
Yeah.
And I'm very busy. He's very busy because he does a lot of sports. I do a lot of the other dancing. So to meet up, we only probably met up 4, 5 times to put up
Wow.
together. But each time when we work together, like we focus, we dance, we laugh, and it's just really organic. Like it's not, we don't have to sit down and be like, okay, what are we gonna do today? Like we were just like, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And then we started dancing, and then
Okay.
I thought about that. Like we should do that, and then that's just how it happens.
That's
And it's
awesome.
just fun. Like we would just dance for fun, and that's it. That we've got a step, and I like dancing with him because I hear a lot of other couples saying, yeah, the girls would say, oh, he doesn't let me be creative, or he doesn't give me space, or blah blah. And with Yannick, it's not that at all. We just both the same. Um, we just both the same. We just dance. That's it.
Yeah.
So and his craziness matches my craziness, so that's perfect.
Yeah, okay. Now it sounds like you both have a lot of fun, which is, the best
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
That's
it's just
always the
fun.
best.
It's fun. We just don't take things too seriously. Just
Okay, 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 okay. I want you to tell me about a Jingle Me. Jingle Me?
Ginga. When I started teaching, like the workshops and things like that,
Uh-huh.
uh, I had a goal, and I still have the same goal actually. So I really the reason why I teach is that because people ask me, that's true, but also I really wanted to see more dancing in the dance. So
Okay.
you see a lot of, for example, dancehall has evolved with a lot of steps and a
Yeah.
lot of, there's these defined steps that you have to do, blah, 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 blah. But people forget to dance because they're so focused in the steps. And it's the same with Kizomba,
Ah.
urban keys. People are so focused in the step that they forget to dance. And actually, what makes dancing fun is that you actually freeing yourself and
Yeah.
then. And I love that Kizomba has this big Ginga thing where it's just your body language, your body movement, the way you express yourself. And I thought that that's something that everyone should have in dancing. Like,
Yeah.
and I always say we all have different bodies, or we all have different ways of moving, of walking. So all like no, you can't have two dancers dancing the same way. So
Right, right,
just
right, right, right.
find your own Ginga and find your own flavor, your own thing, and then put in. There's no, I don't think you can do wrong with Ginga because it's your own personal thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Just put it in your dance, whatever dance you're doing, just get your Ginga on and just,
Hey.
yeah, just dance. And I think it's very important. So in my class, so I teach Afro Caribbean grooves, mainly because I don't want to stick to one style. So I teach a whole different styles. I don't teach steps really, so I would show different steps or moves, but I really want the students to put their own style in it because
Yeah.
Afro and Caribbean dances, that's how it happens. Like it all happens in the party, so you gotta dance. It
Yeah.
doesn't happen in class. Like you don't go to a class say, "Oh, I'm gonna learn guara guara," for example. You just go party. Someone is doing it. You're just copying, and then everyone
Uh-huh.
dance together. So that's really what I want people to understand, that they can like Afro and Caribbean dances. It's all about the Ginga basically. Like it's all about your flavor, like what you bring.
Yeah. I definitely
So
understand that.
that's how I created Jingami because I needed a name, and I thought, yeah, people should find their own Jinga. They can't, because
Yeah.
always like, oh, I want to dance like you, and I'm like, you can't dance like me. Like I can't even dance like you.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
just yeah, I can show you the moves that I'm doing. I can explain to you how I free up my mind and how I understand the music, like how I listen to the music, because there's a lot of musicality as well. But then you got to find your own style.
Yeah, I definitely understand that. I
Yeah.
definitely understand that. I think when you see, something you like, imitation is the highest form of flattery, right? So that's what you all want to do. But at the end of the day, you definitely want to develop your own style, your own unique, your own flavor. That's always the goal.
I had this discussion with a friend. She was like, Ama, you can't expect people to just put their style on it straight away because they don't know how to dance already.
Right, right.
Yeah, but I can't teach you my Jinga. I can't teach you that because It's just about the way I move. Like, for example, when you do a body roll, I would always do clockwise, but because I feel comfortable doing it that way.
Right, right,
You
right.
you may feel more comfortable doing it a different way, like going
Hmm.
clockwise, and that's your own thing. Like I can't force you to do exactly what I do because you won't feel comfortable. If you don't feel comfortable, then your dance is gonna be stiff, and then you don't
Yeah.
look so big that you like, and you really want to get there. But I think what should inspire you is the energy of the dancer. Like when a dancer is good, this dancer is inspiring you to be good as well and
Yeah.
to yourself. And that's a good dancer for me. Like she just doing steps. Okay, you may be great at technique, but then you're not communicating anything to the audience or to your partner if you're doing partner dance. If you don't have, then you don't have connection, and it's bland. Like it's not
Yeah.
dancing.
You're right. You're so true. You're so true about that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm curious. Um, what what are some lessons that you learned from dance that you're able to translate to your everyday life?
Um, like some not technical stuff or just
I mean, anything that yeah you learn from dancing that you can apply to that you apply to your life.
um like not caring so much of how I look, for example,
Okay.
like dance. Um, so my first performances. So when I arrived here, I was just dancing and uh, I told you I went to this party and I met the DJs and his girlfriend who's organizing the party as well. She told me, they told me, oh, Ama, you should just put up a performance and just do something at the party. And I was like, really? No, I can't do that. Like, I really don't like people watching me. I'm so shy, blah, blah. But I did this performance and I was like, oh, doesn't matter really. Like I do what I do. I like it. I enjoy it. People don't really care how I look or anything. They just enjoying whatever I'm communicating to them,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
that's the most important. So now, when from there, when I was going to work, even like I just I just be me. I just do me. I don't care so much. Oh, I look like this because I'm working in cosmetics, right? So everyone has to look good and have
Right, right.
blah blah blah, and I'm not like that. I'm working in a lab, so really I don't care. But I mean, I was always self-conscious of how I look. Like, do I look okay? Am I what I say is what I say correct? Like, he's blah blah. No, I'm like, just enjoy yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and everything is going to follow. Just
Mm-hmm.
enjoy.
Okay.
Just have fun, and people will understand you and get it with the flow as well.
Okay. So you say you're working in cosmetics now, right?
Yeah.
And so dancing is, I guess, like a side hobby, a hobby of yours.
Hey, in the beginning it was a side, now it's becoming as big as my main job.
Okay, that's
Like
awesome.
I'm dancing every night, basically. So after work, uh, during the day I'm at work, and after work I'm dancing.
Okay. I'm curious. W- what's your ideal, life situation? A full-time teacher, full-time dancer, what?
Actually, I think I'm in my ideal situation. I like my
Okay,
job. I really love
that's
my
awesome.
job, and I really love dancing. Yeah, so uh, last year I spent a lot of time teaching, so I
Huh?
developed my teaching skills, I would say. And the year before, I was doing a lot of performances. So yeah, I think I just need to find the balance now: teaching, performing, teaching, performing. But yeah, still keeping my job, my normal job. Yeah, because I really love
Okay,
it.
I definitely understand that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I'm curious. I I I want to know for for people who for beginners who feel like they're stuck in like a beginner's rut, in Afro House or Caribbean or Kizomba. What could you tell them to get out of that rut?
To practice,
Mm.
really. Like so I think it depends on the people and why they get stuck as well, probably.
Mhm.
But just dance whenever you can. Like I've always been dancing, like since I was little. I've always been dancing, like always, even
Okay.
when I was in school, waiting for the bus, uh, cooking. I'm always dancing. When you dance partner dance, Kizomba, it's not enough to just go take a class. You
Right.
gotta go to the social dance, to the party, and dance with as many people as you can.
Yeah.
And especially when you're a follower or when you're dancing by yourself. When you're dancing by yourself, it's a bit easier because you can dance anytime. But when you're a follower, you need to dance with as many people as you can because really that's going to help you improve a lot.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That makes all the sense.
Yeah.
You get used to different leads and everything, so
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
When I say the word musicality, what does that mean to you?
I think for me, musicality is personal,
Okay.
and musicality is what helps someone understand, I think, your dance. Because you can do a whole lot of moves. If there is no musicality, then we don't understand what you're doing. Like,
Right.
what kind of dance are you doing? Basically, if you turn the music off and you just watch someone dancing, the musicality can tell you what kind of dance, what kind of music it is.
So true.
So so musicality is like this, it's helping people understanding your dance, but it's also the way you would communicate. Like, because when you dance, for example, when you do kizomba or samba or urban keys, you're not talking to your partner. You just have the music and your
Yeah.
partner.
Yeah.
So how you so the leader is leading you, of course, but he can lead you do a whole bunch of stuff. Like when he uses or she uses musicality, and you have your own musicality. It's more like a discussion. I
Yeah.
think
A
one of
discussion.
my best dance happened like a month or two ago. I danced with Odi MPK,
Mhm.
from
Okay.
Dallas. So he
I
came
don't know.
to he's from Dallas. He's dancing Tarasho and Urban Keys. He came for a festival in Sydney, and I danced with him. And his musicality is amazing. And basically, dancing with him, he had his own musicality, and I had my own, and that was really like a discussion, and
Mm.
that's really beautiful. And I I feel a lot of musicality as well when I dance Zouk, Caribbean Zouk, because there's not that many steps. And because there's not that many steps, all you have is the music, really.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You listen to the music and you really discuss with your partner. So it's beautiful. And in any other dance, like when you dance by yourself, musicality is what is distinguishing you from another dancer as well. Like,
Yes, definitely.
but the music is what talks to you, so that's how you interpret it. Like when you hear a beat, that when the beat drops and then you stop, or when the beat drops and you start going crazy, that's when people are like, wow, I love it. And when you go to what's the to just debout, this hip hop competition in Paris, like what
Uh-huh.
makes the whole crowd crazy is always musicality. When the steps go straight on the music, and you can see, like you can literally see the music in the dancer. Like you can see it because
Yeah.
the moves just goes perfectly with the music. Like it's just incredible. So I think musicality is like the magic or the secret ingredients in dancing as well. Like
I believe
that
it.
makes it like a whole, like that takes it to another level.
Yeah, I'm curious. As far as musicality, is that something that you can be taught? How does one learn, to be musical, to practice musicality?
Uh, that I've never tried teaching musicality, but
Okay.
for me, I think you need to listen to a whole bunch of music, like different kind of music, and then you should just try again. Like it's for me, it's always about trying. Like you listen to music that you like, and whatever talks to you, try to dance on it.
Okay. Right.
You know, I've got I've got a friend who I used to practice Kizomba with, an urban kiz, and he's a very good dancer, very good Caribbean zouk dancer, and a very good Kizomba dancer. But he's always stuck with like doing steps, because in Kizomba,
Okay.
so he's always like, oh, I want to do this step, this step, this steps, and then he lost the music. And each time we were practicing, he's like, yeah, like,
Uh,
how do I get this? I was like, just try the steps on a different in a different way. Like basically, the music, you've got the music, you can hear the music, you've got your steps. You can do the same steps a whole different way. Like depending on the music, you can do the same step differently. You can slow down your step. You can accelerate it. You can break it down. You can break it, pause, then keep going. Like you can do a whole lot of stuff with just one step, and I think that can help as well practicing musicality.
really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Thank you
Of
for
course,
having me.
of course. Yeah. You're a wonderful guest. Tell me, what are some of your upcoming events?
So Sunday, I will be teaching with Yannick, because we don't have a regular class. We only teach workshops. So
Okay.
we'll be teaching Samba at Keys of Broadway in Sydney. Then I'll be at a Caribbean Zouk event. So I'm helping
Hey,
promoting
hey.
this event on the 6th of April, or before there is Prescription. Prescription is the party I told you about with the great DJ. They play soca, dancehall, and afro. It's just amazing.
What's his name?
So,
What's his name again?
sorry?
What's the DJ's name?
Phasmo. DJ
Phasma.
Phasmo.
DJ
Yeah,
Phas. Shout out. DJ Phasma. Hey.
I love
Cut
this
the check.
event.
Cut the check,
Amazing.
bro.
Yeah. Like, then with Yannick, we've been booked for the Bachata Festival, so we'll be teaching there and performing. It's on the weekend of the 25th or 26th of April. And then I'll be performing with a team of students
Ah.
early May. So we're starting rehearsing this week at Crossover Upstage. So the theme is games. So all the teachers are going to be teaching a routine around this theme, like games. So you've got
Okay.
Hunger Games and stuff like that. And I chose hopscotch.
All right. For
Reason.
sure.
I don't know why. Like they say pick a theme. I was like, okay, hopscotch. So
Hey.
that's what I do, dancehall, a lot of dancehall. And then I'm off to the US and traveling for 6 months. But then when I come back with Yannick, we've been booked for Samba classes in October for the festival in Noumea, in New Caledonia.
Oh man. Oh well, that's so awesome. What states are you coming to in the US?
I think I'm arriving in Dallas on the 16th of May.
You said you
And
were
then,
coming.
yeah, so after Dallas for a few days, then after I go to New Orleans.
Hey, that's where I'm at. That's what you said. Hey, what you coming to New Orleans for?
Just visiting because I've always wanted to visit this city.
Dude, when you come here, you gotta hit me up. You have to hit me
uh,
up.
I'll let
Of
you know.
course, yeah, because we're gonna go dancing. Hell yes, hell yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna dance.
I'm so with it. Oh yeah, I can't wait. When is that? When is that gonna be?
It's going to be from the 20th of May till I think the end of the week, 20.
Okay. Okay. Oh yeah, definitely. We're gonna link up. Definitely. I'm excited for that. Hell yeah. So you said you're gonna be touring for 6 months, just teaching classes or what?
More taking classes
Oh, okay,
because
okay.
um, in Australia all the teachers knows themselves. Like all know each other, and at some point you need more inspiration, and
All right.
so you need to see something else. And I feel like I need to see something else, like in terms
Yeah.
whether it's in Samba, Kizomba, Dancehall, or Afro, I just want to take a whole bunch of classes and just discuss with different teachers and have their point of view and get more history and things like that. So
That's a great idea. Yeah, get out the country and just see something different. That's a wonderful idea.
yeah.
Hell yes. Let the people know. How can people get in contact with you? How can they reach you?
Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, you can just talk to me. I'll answer.
Well, so wait, plug it. What are your Instagram handles and all that?
It's Ama with 3A dots Ryllis, and my Facebook is Ama space Ryllis.
Okay. When I post this, I'm gonna list all your
Yeah.
links in the comments. I got you. I'm gonna list all of it.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Like I said, I really want to say thank you so much for just taking time out your day to talk to me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me. Right.
Of course, and I want to say I really appreciate you. You showing love to the podcast. I appreciate that above all.
I think it's just a great idea, like because when you dance, whether you're beginner, advanced, or intermediate, or even teacher or whatever, you just sometimes you don't know who like how to get to the next level, and that can be something that someone says or that can trigger something,
Yeah.
and I just feel like dancing is sharing. So or anything that is related to dancing, I'm just sharing. Like I just feel
Hey.
like of sharing because that's for sure going to inspire someone at some point
Yeah,
to just
definitely.
dance and keep dancing or do something crazy. Yeah.
And
And
that's
it's
why.
actually dance. Seriously, it is crazy to dance because you're doing something with your body. Like it's
Uh
insane.
huh. Now, yeah, that's why. I think that's one of the reasons why I like doing this. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just that passing information along. I to maybe to someone that I may never meet in person. Just the opportunity to talk to them and learn from them. Hear their story, hear what they have to say is amazing. So yeah, I'm glad to share this with everyone. I'm very glad.
Thank you for doing that. That's really good, and you've got great questions. So
I,
that's cool.
I really appreciate that. You were, like I said, you were a great guest. I want to say this. I can't wait to come to New Orleans, and I want to
Yeah.
have you on. I want to have you another show. So I can't wait for that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah. So yeah, I just want to say, enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much. Oh
Thank you,
man.
you too.
Hey, all right, take it easy.
Bye.
Hey.